Today we're diving into one of nature's rarest feeding rituals, and I'm going to show you how you can optimize it. In this tank here I have my strain of the blue-faced Namunda and a red turquoise cross with a male brilliant turquoise. We have a domestic, full domestic crossed with a half domestic, half wild fish. The goal of this is to create a more colorful, rare, wild type fish. Now, it can very easily go south. It can just become a domestic fish, but I'm going to always try to keep that outer black ring on it and have more of the wild characteristics in my fish. So these guys spawned about 5 days ago. Fry are about 2 days off the cone and on the parents. And what I'm going to do today is talk to you about how I supplement the diet. Because the slime coat is still very effective and very crucial for their first food because of it basically boosts their immune system as fry. But also you want to kind of get some small foods in there that will stick to the parent sides and help those fry grow a little more quick than they would just off the slime coat. Now the slime coat is something I let them stay on for 10 days after they leave the cone. Sometimes up to 14 days, but usually that 10 to 14 day range is when I start pulling the fry. And the reason why is because I can be way more diligent as far as water changes, but feeding heavy. Even the bell system here, that's when I start feeding those fry that bell system. Because I can feed them in the morning, take off, and they can have food all day long to eat. But because that's happening, I need to do water changes. So the problem with them being in the breeding tank for too long is it's soft water. And that soft water is not expensive, but it's more expensive than tap water because of the RO system, what it has to run through, and the supplements I have to put in there. By the 10 to 14 days, they're removed from the parents. Usually I have them converted all the way over to tap water. And the reason I do that is because of heavy water changes. Now, I want growth quick. The first month is crucial. They have to grow right in the first month. So you can get a little sloppy in month 2 or 3, but really you kind of want to stay focused on them for about 2 to 3 months. And this is why they are so expensive. Because of the time and labor that goes into growing quality fish. Not just growing fish, but growing quality fish. Now we've all seen those discus that should not be sold, and that's just something that, you know, that's a choice from the breeder. But really it shouldn't be that way, because the higher quality we can get into the stores or into other people's hands, the better chance we have to have a long-term success as far as discus. So the slime coat. So it's a mucus layer rich in proteins, lipids. Now I'm going to butcher this word, but I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see what the word is. I'm not a scientist, I'm just a guy that loves to read stuff and learn stuff. So it's called the immunoglobulins. That's what the scientific word is that produces their slime coat. Now don't ask me because I don't make these words up. Immunoglobulins. Mucus layer rich in proteins, lipids, and immunoglobulins. So they act as both an immune shield and a nutrient source. So that's my point, is to get the nutrient source along with the slime coat to add to that slime coat. What you have to understand is that slime coat is extra sticky. So if you get the right foods in the water, they will be attracted to that slime coat and you will see the discus pick off them. Now I have a couple products that were designed especially for this, and I've made some switch offs. So I've changed breed and grow to starter fry blend, and the reason why is now I have the B Part Supreme. It is the best product I think I've ever made. I've made some great products, but this one might be my favorite. And I know there's a lot of people that don't like B Part. What you have to understand about B Part is it grows big fish along with the earthworms, but it's not about just putting directly B Part in the tank. It's about the mixture, right? The blend has only about 10% B Part. So that is a secret. A lot of the products are 90% B Part. Now I don't want that much B Part in my tank. For one, it goes rancid if it's not eaten. Two, probably not healthy for the discus. So by having a lower percentage of B Part, actually what you're doing is you're getting all the benefits but none of the downside. On my product, B Part Supreme, what I've done is I've taken breed and grow as the fry section. Now when I created that breed and grow, it was for the parents, and my thought process was to stick it to the glass, the parents eat it, and then what comes off, the fry will get off of the parents. So it's more of a theory about putting the cube in, letting the parents hit that, and then it would shoot through the tank. But that was before I had my own B Part Supreme. Now by splitting the two, I can feed just a little bit, it can stick to the parents, and then I can feed the parents the B Part Supreme. Now you're going to notice I feed a little different probably than most people as far as the cubes. Now the cubes will stick to the glass, they just have to be pressed hard. But now the Breed and Grow, or the Fry Starter Blend, is meant to be more sprinkled lightly along the top and sink into the tank. Because you'll notice after a while, those fry will go after, and if it's not on the parents, they will go around the tank and eat it. But the first week or so, they want to be against those parents just as a security blanket. So right now, I have lowered, for members, I have lowered both those products, because I want you guys trying them, especially if you're breeding Discus. These are incredible products that can help all breeders around the country. The mixture of these two now is really the ultimate formula, because the parents are getting high quality food, and you gotta understand, when she lays these eggs, she's giving part of her body to these fry. So she needs to be replenished as much as possible to get her strength back. Because not only did she use all the energy to lay the eggs, but now she's taking care of those fry, because usually the female takes care of the fry more than the male. Not always, but usually. So right now there's a special on the beef parts. I've lowered it to $19.99, and you have to understand the old beef part that we had was $1 a gram. This price is 50 cents a gram. This is a way better product than that old product because it was very inconsistent. I did not like the inconsistency I was getting from the other supplier. So that's why I created my own product, because I could not verify that they were pulling everything out of the beef part that needed to be pulled out. And there was some questionable stuff in the cubes when they came on the last batch, so I said, you know what, no more. Lost a lot of money because I buy it by the kilo. So I lost a lot of money on that, but that's okay, because it taught me that I need to do this on my own. And it's really the best part of this fish keeping for me is, you know, having the fisherman, the fish is amazing, but creating products and seeing results, that's like the ultimate gift that just keeps giving, because every time I'm putting this into the tank, I'm getting great results. I'm extending the fulvic acid buy one get one half off through this weekend too. That's been a game changer also. And I'm working on some other stuff right now, but I'm not going to go into this video because it's going to be long enough as it is. Feeding timelines. Within the first 3 days, the fry absorb the yolk sac. They stay close to the parents. Day 4 to 7, fry begin pecking at the slime coat, primarily a nutrition source. And this is where the starter fry blend comes in. It is crucial. It actually adheres to the slime coat and gives those fry a better chance of survival, but also quicker growth. And then they are removed from the tank at day 10 to 14, and that's when the real feeding comes in with the bell, because once the fry leave the parents, it is up to us to grow those fish out correctly. And that's where the bell system does come in. It is amazing, and you can put whatever you want in it. My suggestion is don't put any of my cubes in it. If you're going to put anything as far as the cubes in it, crumble them up into chunks. Because even a bigger chunk that a fry can't eat, you will watch them, they will pick at it and they will break it down over time. They will spend all day on a chunk of food and eat that food up. So nothing wrong with that, but what you don't want is to leave it in the full cube form, because what could happen is they can't get that initial break in that cube. So that's crucial. We'll get those broken up for them so they can pick at it slowly. I've done some tests with the fish eating off the slime coat with no additives, and then eating off the slime coat with additives. Is there a difference? Yes, definitely. And I think that extra boost at the beginning just sets you up for long-term success. It's something about knowing that they're getting that little extra boost. They need that parent slime coat. I have tried to do artificial raising of Discus, and I was successful, but it was a pain in the ass. It was hard. And what I noticed was the fish just did not come out as healthy. They just did not look as good. They did not act right. There was something about that initial slime coat. I think that's something that just helps their immunity get really strong really fast. So they need that off of the parents. I would highly recommend never to try to artificially raise. Now that was something that was done early on in the hobby. They could not figure out how Discus spawned or took care or water conditions. So by doing this, very intense process, and I would not recommend it. Its failure rate is very high. You can fail by just missing one feeding. I really believe that they need to be raised with their parents. and I'm 100% behind that now. So why does this matter? Slime comb feeding is nature's nursery. Your intervention enhances survival, growth, and future breeding potential. This is where conviction meets care. Okay, so I've been wanting to make this video for a long time because this is something I've worked on for the last 2 years, trying to get this system just right. Now I believe I have it just right now because of all the work I've put into it, and the results I'm seeing every time gets better. This last process of splitting these two products apart and using them for what they're intended, because the breed and grow was intended for the parents when the fry were on their side. But now we're using the B Part Supreme, which is only 10% B Part and 90% seafood, basically. Lots of seafood, but there's a lot of vitamins and stuff in that. The 10% B Part is the secret. It's not about just dumping B Part into a tank. Now, I know there's going to be people that still do not believe in B Part, and that is fine. Do not leave comments. I do not care, because I am in here testing and testing and testing. It's all I do is want to see results. So I've had no negative effects and only upside to feeding this ratio of B Part. Now, I've tried other B Part products, and I did not like the way they performed. I did not like the way that the fish were attacking the food, and I did not like the fact that I did not know exactly what was in it. So now I know, and the process I go through to get this B Part clean is intense. The labor is intense. So this $19.99, I'm not charging my labor because this product needs to get out. If this product gets out and it's successful, then it'll be worth it not to be paid up front for my labor. And that is okay. I'm okay with that. That's the way it works in business. Totally fine. So if you're still watching and you want these products, because we have the ShellerFishFood.com for the public, you can get all the products on the website there. A lot of my early products that are proven are on ShellerFishFood.com. But if you want to become a member, $25, you can become a member, and it's $125 total, but you do not have to pay that at one time. I do not charge credit cards. I do not, I do not sit there and try to hit you up as far as the money. It's an honor system. Basically, when you become a member, you're on the honor system, and every time you place an order, I just ask that you make a $25 donation to that fund for the membership. And then once you're in the membership, you're in the membership. So you can have full access to the ShellerAquatics.com, and that's where these products are. But if you just have a fish room, and I want to say something else about B Part. I feed this B Part product to all my fish. I have guppies, I have plecos, I have zebra plecos, I have angel rainbow fish, guppies. I feed it to my shrimp, they eat it. So this whole idea, I feed it to my wild fish, this whole idea that there's something like fish won't eat animal protein. It's protein. I don't care what it says. As long as it's made correctly, it's safe. But I would not recommend just throwing a chunk of B Part in your tank, because you will have issues as far as keeping those tanks clean. But two, your fish are probably going to be overwhelmed by how much protein is in it. But you have to understand, there's no way we can recreate the wild. These fish are scavenging all day long, and they're not picky. If they see something and it looks like a protein source, they're going to eat it. They're not saying, oh, I can't eat that because of this, or I can't. They see something that's possible food. Even if it's not food, they put it in your mouth and spit it out. But they are trying everything, and they're on a constant hunt for protein. Protein is the secret for fish, and I don't care what kind of fish you keep. All my products are safe. And the reason why I know that is because I keep most fish in this room. And I've been keeping fish for 30 years, and I've learned a lot about wild fish. I started in the hobby on African cichlids. That's how I started. I started under John Neiman's. He would basically go to Africa, collect wild fish. This was the early 90s, and I would come home with some amazing stuff and learn to breed it. But I learned how to feed these fish and not cause bloat. Now, I would feed bloodworms to Trophia, and people were like, well, that's crazy. The secret was to keep the amount down, right? If you fed bloodworms at 10% and you fed brine shrimp at 90%, you could get that extra protein source and not cause the bloat. So this is how I kind of learned my theory. And I had a 425 gallon stocked with Tropheus debosii. Those were my favorites. And I never had a bloating problem, and I fed bloodworms. Now, there's gonna be people saying that's crazy, I can't. It's about how you feed them. If I just threw cubes of bloodworms in that tank, yes, I would get bloat. But it was about the 90-10, right? 90-10, 90 brine, 10 bloodworms. And then, you know, feeding greens. My koala green on the website, that is inspired for African cichlids. So there's not a food on my website that won't feed any fish in your fish room. I don't care what kind of fish you have. So that's it. Any questions, please subscribe, leave comments, good or bad, I don't care. If they're really bad, I just ignore them. But thanks everyone for watching, and I'll talk to you real soon.